this sermon is for what's next. I have a terribly important application, a talk. I want to talk about just one area of your life where you need to let Jesus come and do those things. If you don't, you're going to drift away from us. If not you, your children. Get your identity from Jesus. By identity, I mean sense of self. You have many roles in your family. You might be a parent, you might be a child, at work, at school. But even in those many roles, there's a core you doing all those roles. A you that has something as the most important thing for you, what you are really living for, what is the greatest good in your life. And that is what gives you a sense of self, because no matter what role you're in, you're still serving that greatest thing. And by identity, I also mean a sense of worth. Who do you give the authority to tell you whether you are living up to your ideals, whether you are serving that greatest good, whether you are good or bad? Do you look to Jesus for those things, for the sense of what is the greatest good, for the sense of whether you are good? Modern Western culture, the atmosphere in which we live, tells us you look inside to determine what is important to you, what is the good for which you will live. In every other culture but this one, self-worth comes from outside. It depends on the honor others bestow on you as you care for them, as you're loyal to them, as you sacrifice your desires to love them. But in today's culture, you are the one who validates you. No one tells you what is right or wrong for you. You define what is good. And perhaps the theme song that captures this is Elsa's anthem in Frozen, a movie that I enjoy, seen a couple times. She sings, "It's time to see what I can do, to test the limits and break through. No right, no wrong, no rules for me. I'm free. Let it go, let it go." In the story, she's tried to be good, tried to do what she's told to do, but now, even though it's going to make her entire country freeze and people die of starvation, I've got to be me. Why are we cheering her? I mean, she's killing people. Well, she looks so fabulous, and she's becoming herself. So we cheer. Every other culture in the history of the world said what's wrong with the world, what messes things up, is the individual who lives the way he or she wants, rather than the way that the clan or family or nation or God wants. But in our culture, what's wrong with the world is anyone telling us what to do. What's wrong is people telling me there's something outside me that I have to live according to. J.K. Rowling is a perceptive observer of human nature, of our culture, always looking for storylines that will touch deep chords. So in her movie, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, another one that I've watched quite a few times. The most destructive force in it is this obscurus, which surfaces when this guy's adopted family makes him suppress who he is inside. And the pressure of someone not letting him be himself turns him into this giant amoeba cloud that goes around and eats things. As one who loves you, I warn you, your classmates, your coworkers, those on social media who you read, actors, writers, assume that your identity is found by you looking inside. Don't let yourself get gradually used to that idea. Don't start believing it without being aware of what is at stake. Our identity source sets our life trajectory. Realize if you live as if the good is found by living inside, by looking inside you, you will start leaving the wisdom that is in Jesus. And you will start adopting, I think, all the progressive moral values. For instance, once we believe that our identity comes from looking at our desires within, well, then it starts feeling wrong, immoral, to not celebrate same-sex marriage, to not celebrate hormone therapy and sex reassignment surgery for those who are transgender, because it's against what is good to prevent people from being who they feel they are. And I want to, and I believe that as I am with gay and transgender persons, I view them as dear people who I love, who I care for. They sense that their body's gender is somehow not right for them, or that homosexual marriage won't work for them. But the question is, should we celebrate those things? If we buy into our culture's message about identity, we or our children, or definitely our grandchildren, are going to end up celebrating those things. I say, instead of following our culture, let's light Advent candles. Let's sing, O come, Emmanuel, you who are God, come to be with us. Let's open ourselves to what Jesus shows us. Let's let him rescue us when we don't follow what he shows us. Let's let him lead us. Jesus' coming is not merely an event 2,000 years ago. The one who came then still comes. And as we build our identity out of a relationship, interacting with him, we will not be disappointed.